Hi everyone, welcome back to Montreal in Real Life and Manifest Mondays. Today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on strength. So today I'll be taking you on a tour of my physical therapy routine. I do this about 3 times a week. This exercise is called pull-ups, and it's just to give me a bit of stretching before I start doing some heavy lifting. I recently had surgery, and I am just doing everything possible to make sure that my arm gets back in tip-top shape. Alright, these are called stairs. It is just another stretching exercise, but it is part of strengthening those muscles. And I wanted to point out that even little motions and little steps that you take towards your healing are all part of a greater picture of strengthening yourself, strengthening your mindset. And I hope that's something that we can all go into this week, is carrying a little bit of strength with us through our daily activities to manifest something greater at the end of the week. If you've joined me thus far, you know that I'm all about practice and repetition, and I think that's exactly what manifestation is, in my eyes, is the practice of something over and over until it is to your liking, to your satisfaction. You've manifested something that you can be proud of or that you can use. Whatever your end goal is, you have to practice and work to get there. Alright, these are the weight bands, and I'm currently pulling 5 to 10 pounds, and it really just depends how far you stand away from the pole. So I think I'm pulling probably around 7 pounds, and this is just to strengthen those shoulder muscles. You have to do the same thing on both sides. So just like manifestation itself, the act of building strength is something that takes time, consistency, repetition. Because if I just walked into this physical therapy place as I was when I first had my surgery and started pulling 10 pounds, I would probably injure myself more rather than build strength quickly. Strength doesn't happen overnight. It's something you have to work at. And after almost 6 weeks of coming to this place, I'm able to pull 10 pounds successfully. It's about building it up. So I want you to remember that this week as you're trying to keep strength in mind. Just keep in mind that it takes build up, and try and do a little bit each day, as I was saying, to have a greater outcome at the end of the week versus trying to throw your entire self into something all at once. Another thing that I really love about taking your time with things and doing a little bit at a time is that you can really see your progress that way. You can see how far you've come, how much you've improved on each little step of the way. Here I go to the rowing machine. This is a new exercise for me, and I'm lifting 4 pounds. Yes, this one is a little bit difficult, but as I continue to progress, I'll be able to lift more and more and have it work more smoothly for me. Again, if I didn't say this already, strength is something I believe is that you build upon, not something that just kind of exists. Okay, now I'm moving over to the dumbbells. I always forget what they're called, but this is 8, I believe, pounds, and this is the first time that I'm lifting 8 pounds. I usually go around 6 for some exercises, and you'll see later I still use 6 for some. But yeah, and it seems to be going pretty well. There's something about, leveling up that I really like as well, which is again another reason I love that idea of building upon strength, because it just feels so satisfying to me to look at from where I came from and to where I'm at now, and just feel like I'm leveling up in not only my physical strength, but my mentality is growing too. Like, I can lift these weights, and I'm just so happy and proud of myself for coming this far, and I'm excited to see how many weights I'm going to be able to lift in the next 2 weeks and then the next 4 weeks. And it just feels exciting to me. I mean, not the idea necessarily of like working out, but the idea that I'm pushing my limits and I'm growing. And I hope those are things that you can also find joy in on your journey of strengthening and growth. Ooh, that was tiring. Okay, now I have a 9-pound dumbbell going back to another rowing exercise. I really like this one. It feels really great on my shoulder. It just feels like a nice, good stretch. Alright, here I'm going back to the 6-pound dumbbells because this motion is a little bit more difficult for me. Today I did really good. I got my arms all the way up to my shoulders, and I'm really happy to see that progress. And if it helps you to keep track of your progress, I would totally suggest filming or keeping a little journal, maybe like a bullet journal, just jotting down the progress that you make each day in whatever endeavor that you're setting out for this week. And here we are at the final exercise. This is not really a strengthening exercise, it's more of a range of motion exercise to give me a little stretch so I'm able to put my hand behind my back further and further each time. Right now I'm about halfway up my back, which is pretty good. However, I am a really flexible person, so I should be able to go further. So this is something I'm going to be working on a lot even outside of physical therapy, just so I can have it at the same range of motion as my other arm. Nothing's wrong with not being exactly where you want to be at the beginning of your strength building, at the beginning of your manifestation. As I keep saying, I believe it's truly about building upon the last work that you did. So it's okay if you're not there yet, but I hope you're excited like I am to keep growing and building, and I'll see you all next week. Good luck!